Hey, yo, make sure you go on Gen Pop TV and watch this exclusive interview called Super Trife Low Lifes. You heard? Shout out to the bro FOZ. Shout out to InSource TV. You heard?
Hey yo, Brownsville, Brooklyn in the building. You already snowmobile. Know what I mean? Check that new video, BK Panamami featuring the guard LAZ. You heard it's called Don't Ask and it's fire. And I filmed the video. Let's get it. Hey yo, make sure y'all check the first 2 episodes of my life story, Kids with Guns, on the channel now. You heard I'm working on the 3rd episode, but 2 episodes is out. So if you ain't see those, you slipping, slacking, and lacking. And that's a fact. Get at me. Z-Lord.
Hey, yo, this is the 3rd part to this 3-part series with the bro W.O.P from Harlem. You heard? We talking Rikers Island and 9-6, 9-7 action. You heard? Leave a comment if you from Harlem. Let me know what projects you rep, what side block you rep. Side block gang is in the building. You heard? Let me know what Ave, what block you from. Z-Man, Suicide Polo with the ski man running around the hood like He-Man. Get at me.
The 2-upper was the only house in the full building that didn't go to the mess hall with nobody. None of that. I'm talking about, it was the worst house in the full building. They didn't go to the, you know what I mean? Like I said, none of the cell houses went to school, but 2-upper didn't even go to the, 2-upper ain't had the same sick call times. If you ain't see a 2-upper nigga in court or see him on a visit, you ain't gonna never see a 2-upper nigga. And 2-upper used to look so serious. If you walking through the corridor at nighttime and you look up there to the 2 building up there, all them niggas used to have like red paper over their lights, so that shit used to just look like the devil's den up that motherfucker. Just look like, you ever see a nigga put like red paper over their light and how the room looked like it had a red light bulb or something? Mm-hmm. That shit used to look sinister like a motherfucker. You walk through there, you just hear all the stories about what's going on up there in 2-upper. It was Bloodhouse. They used to call it 2-top the chop shop. The south side, it's called a 2-top the chop shop. And you used to hear all types of stories. Niggas coming down from 2-upper all cut up, scrub brushed up, all types of shit. I mean, and you would never really see none of the 2-upper niggas. And like I said, unless you see one of them niggas in court or see them on a visit, you never. They made sure them niggas' whole movement was separate from the rest of the building. So Stash ended up going to 2-upper first. So while we in 2-upper, while we still in the Bing, we get word that, niggas done violated Stash, and 2-upper took his kicks, right? Now remember I mentioned this because this adds up to what happened later on, right? So niggas took Stash kicks. Niggas took Stash kicks as soon as he went up there. Now Stash, remember I told you Stash was the nigga that came in Mod 2 and niggas asked like, yo, and I asked him like, yo, you know what? No, that's my man Fred, brother. So Stash leaves the Bing, goes to 2-upper before me, and we hearing niggas took Stash kicks up there, right? Took his air zoom. That's when the air zooms came out. Took his air zoom. He had like some blue and white air zooms. So when I get out the Bing, now remember I told you about Ill Will. Me and him ain't like each other. Then we got crazy tight, slept right next to each other. He was saying, he was fighting the body, saying he was gonna kill himself if he blow and all. And I'm telling him, nigga, you bugging. He knew my broad and all that from kids. But when I get to 2-upper, when I get out the Bing, they send me straight to 2-upper South Side, right? So when I get there, Ill Will there. Now mind you, rewind a little bit. When I'm in Mall 4 Lower, I told you I should sleep in between the nigga Ill Will and the nigga One Shot. So, but he wasn't One Shot back then. This nigga was the first nigga. This was my son in Mall 2. Nigga, like I said, his name was Toby. I think he was calling himself Jux or some shit like that back then. He the first nigga in New York, first nigga I ever met with a tattoo going across his stomach, like Tupac. I think it should say criminal behavior, some shit like that. He was like, he's from the Bronx, He from the Bronx, but I think he was like spent mad time down south or some shit. So he got like a country accent a little bit. Rocky nigga, like we was in Mar 2 together. I mean, like you know, my shit was fake up. I mean, his shit was up. And when they used to had a, there was this lady on the school floor. Used to do the body, had the little bodybuilding program, and they used to have the little bodybuilding contests and shit like that in the auditorium. So we participated in the bodybuilding shit together and all that. I mean, this was my nigga. But I told you I slept between him and the nigga Ill Will. Them niggas was two Bronx niggas, but them niggas ain't really like each other. So when I went to Mar for Lower, one shot ended up coming down to Mar for Lower. He said when he went to two upper, it was a little Jamaican nigga they named Lil Vicious. They used to call the nigga Lil Vicious. Lil Vicious was a short little Jamaican nigga that cut wild niggas in the building. He used to talk wild shit. Man got 22 cuttings, little short nigga. So one shot said when he went up to two upper, he got it in it with Lil Vicious, and niggas jumped him up there. I'm like, yo, word, that nigga. I said, yo, that nigga Ill Will ain't help you, because we was old peoples in Mar too. I'm like, yo, that nigga Ill Will ain't help you. He's like, what? That nigga Ill Will was on my back trying to feed me out. I said, what? So fast forward, when I get to two upper this day, you know they got you on the Sally Port before they show you what cell to go to. And you know they got that little mesh gate shit. I'm standing there. I'm standing there in the Sally Port. Ill Will comes to the gate. He like, wow, what you doing up here? Thought you was chilling. What you do? You know I had to do something to get there. Like, what you doing up here? Thought you was chilling. I'm like, I forget what I say to him, but he's like, yeah, you be alright up here. He's like, you be alright up here as long as you don't come up here with no bullshit. He said, yeah, alright. I'm like, yo, what happened? I'm like, yo, what happened? I'm like, yo, what happened with my son's stash sneakers, whatever. Niggas jumped my son's stash, took his sneakers. He's like, did I bring that up right there? I don't know if I brought that up or I brought the one whatever. We having this conversation. They didn't even let me in. We having this conversation through the gate. So, right, we having a conversation about one shot. The stash shit ain't come up yet. So I'm like, yo, what happened with I said, what happened with one shot up here that's in the third? He like I told you, don't come up here with no bullshit. You be alright. So I'm looking at this nigga like, well, yo, we was all peoples, yo. You turn blood now. This nigga Ill Will blood now and all that. Nigga flip. Like, I mean, even though him and one shot ain't really like each other when we was down in Mar 2, I still never figured him to, turn blood. And you know, we was all peoples. Now, I mean, we went up when it was the Bronx, Harlem, and Brooklyn shit, and we was all together. So it fucked me up that he turned blood, and the nigga, one shot said this nigga was on his back trying to L him out and all that. So, and Ill Will was my nigga. This, me and him became crazy type. So I thought, right? So, once they opened the gate and sent me to my cell, they put me in a cell directly across from Lil Vicious, right? So Lil Vicious standing in his doorway. I go to my cell, unpacking my shit, and I remember I had a Swatch watch on. I had a Swatch. I don't know if it was a Swatch watch or a G. I had a watch on that nigga's life. So Ill Will come down to my cell. He talked to me and shit. I think this when I brought up the stash shit and asked him about niggas taking stash shit and all that, whatever. No, but we ain't talking about this till I get. I know we ain't talking about this till I got the date on. I'm gonna tell you why I know that. So boom, I'm making my bed and unpacking my shit and all that. So the nigga Ill Will like, yo, he said some fly shit like, yo, let me hold that watch, right? I looked at the nigga like he was crazy. Like, see, I told you don't come up here on that bullshit, man. Fuck you. He's like, yo, nah, I'm just so. And I never Lil Vicious like, yo, man, leave that nigga alone. Stop. So Ill Will like, yo, nah, this my man. I'm just fucking with. This my man. So. He trying this bullshit like he think I'ma fold up because I'm in two upper now, right? So when we get to the day room now, I see Stash. My son twin, it was these two twin niggas from the Bronx. I forget these niggas' name. One name was Raul. Two twin niggas. They had one had two main and one had Mar 4 upper. One had 2 million and one had more. I don't remember which one of these niggas it was. But soon as we all come in there and we in the day room, I remember Twin was like, yo, Wop, you already know what it is. We up in two up in the day room with our back up against the wall. So now I asked Ill Will, yo, what happened with my son's stash sneakers? I mean, I'm like, yo, niggas jumped my man took. He's like, yo, nah, him and there was a little nigga named Shorty Dread had 2 up, I guess. I don't know. He had, this was right after like Blood Ron and Chi-Chi just left. Now them niggas was there. Blood Ron and Chi-Chi was there. I heard them niggas was up there valley. I'm talking about valley in their own blood. I'm talking about, I remember one day I went to court. I'm jumping around a little bit. I don't know, I went to court one day. I'm hearing all types of stories like they valley. I'm talking about, they said niggas was valley, niggas from their own hood, valley. I'm talking about their own hood they grew up with, valley, and their own blood. I'm talking about them niggas had niggas massaging their feet, all types of just valley, the niggas up there and 2 up doing whatever they wanted to do, because you would never see these niggas, right? So, I remember I went to court one day, and I ended up coming across a North Face. I had the crazy big red and black North Face. I had a red and black North Face, right? And I went in the court. I never forget. I had on some black jeans, I had a red and black North Face, and I had a red, white, and black Maurice Malone hoodie on. So some adult blood nigga. I don't know who this crazy looking nigga was with dread, some big ass nigga. Nigga like, yo, Shorty, you triple O? I'm like, nah, I ain't none of that, B. Yo, you look real fucking good with all that red on. That's what I'm talking about. Like, he ain't front on me or nothing. You looking real good with all that red on. Yo, tell that nigga Blood Ron and Chi-Chi, when them niggas come to adults, niggas gonna stick a harpoon through their ass. Like, his niggas was saying that them niggas was fooled when they went to the adults. Like, I guess them niggas was too old.
Where them niggas was from?
Chi-Chi was from Harlem. Chi-Chi was from Harlem. Chi-Chi in a wheelchair now, from what I understand, from what I heard. But Chi-Chi was from Harlem, and Blood Ron was from the Bronx somewhere. And I ended up north with one of Blood Ron codees, for real. But
now, which Blood Ron you talking about? You not talking about brown skinned blood nigga Ron that got cut real bad on the island?
Nah, that's Ron.
That's Ron G.
He was from Queens, right?
Nah, the Ron G I'm talking about.
Too.
Yeah, he from the Bronx.
The Ron you talking about was from the Bronx too. I know I was there for that.
Yeah.
I was there for that. He got cut. He was in Tulane. He had Tulane.
And I was in Greenwood, son.
Well, the first day I got the tour, but like I said, I hollered at these niggas about my son's stash sneakers and all that. And I'm like, yo, my man, I told the nigga, my man needed sneakers to go to court, yo. So niggas gave my man his sneakers back. They gave Stash his sneakers back. Now mind you, Stash ain't no soft nigga. He was just outnumbered. I mean, however it happened. And Stash was one of them niggas that Stash, he wore glasses, but he wouldn't get glasses or something. Like, he should squint his eyes, so a nigga might think Stash is like gritting on him crazy. I mean, which he probably was, because Stash was one of them niggas that Stash was a tough nigga, but Stash just, he ain't really, Stash ain't really have no, I mean, niggas ain't really respect this shit like that. He wasn't no big dude, nothing at the time or nothing. Stash should kind of like jump out there with anybody. I mean, so whatever happened, I guess some niggas jumped him and got his sneakers from him. And when I got in there, looked like Stash was looked like he had a plan on his mind. Like he was, like he was trying to figure out how to get a knife and get back at them niggas. So I don't know what he had on, but when I got there, Stash was playing the wall. He had court the next day. Like I said, Ill Will was my nigga. I felt like Ill Will had a little bit of respect for me. There was a couple of niggas up there that I knew, but Ill Will was a nigga that I thought was my man like that, based on how close he was in Mar 2. Definitely based on how we didn't really fuck with each other like that. Then we got so close. We slept right next to each other. Me and Still Will got close. Pause. I mean, and so I felt like Still Will, you know, had love for me.
You talking about short, dark-skinned Still Will from Harlem?
No, I keep saying Still Will. I'm mixing them up. Ill Will. Yo, I crazy shit. Still Will, my son. I met Still Will in the full building around that time, but Still Will was in adults. I met Still Will on that same bit, 96. I met him on the Allen, 96. He was in the adults. But I got a funny story about me and Still Will though later, because me and Still Will started fucking with each other when I came home. So, but remember when I told you when I first came through the New Jack house, and I said the two Bronx niggas that kept telling me to send my boots home?
Yeah.
Them niggas was talking about Still Will, saying they was in Wash with him or Green with him somewhere. They was with him in like 94, 93 with him when he was adolescent. But when I met Still Will, he was an adult, and my son Dame from around my way was an adult. So I used to run the hall with them niggas and all that. Me and Still Will got tight. So yeah, but I'm mixing up. I meant to say Ill Will. Ill Will is the Bronx nigga. Ill Will is the nigga from the Bronx. I meant to say Ill Will. If I said Still Will, correct me. I meant to say Ill Will. Ill Will was a little skinny, light-skinned nigga, like light brown-skinned nigga from the Bronx. Know what I mean? He was Ill Will was a tough nigga. Know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? He had a little scratch on his face. I think Star Mel scratched him on his face because he wasn't trying to pay that box and the key every week or some shit like that. So, you know, he wasn't no sucker nigga, but he was on, I mean, I felt like he was on sucker shit when he got with that blood shit for real. But I still, for some reason, thought the nigga, you know, definitely had more respect for me. So boom, what I'm getting to, up there in Two Upper, I had an issue with, like I said, wherever I go, I gotta get on that phone, B. I wasn't having no problems over that phone. If I can't get on that phone, I can't live here. So, like I said, the kid, Shorty Drag, was on trial, so he used to come in from court every night. And I guess every time he used to come in from court, he used to see me on a jack. So, one night, it's lock-in time. I'm locked in. The nigga Ill Will, I left out the whole shit from the first day I got there. And I'm gonna tell you, Twin, Stash, program captains, Ruiz and Oliver, they was the program captains. They came around asking for niggas to go back to program. They said I wasn't eligible. I had too many chances in program. This was my second time getting kicked out of program house. So they ain't let me go. Stash left. Like I said, I just got home and give him back his sneakers for him to go to court. I said, my man needs to go to court. They gave him his sneakers. Just got them to give him back his sneakers. And they called for program for him to go. So Stash got up out of there. Twin got up out of there. All them niggas left. I'm up there dolly. With all the blood niggas. Dolly, right? So boom, I'm up there for a little minute. Couple weeks I'm there. And like I said, this particular day, I remember the kid, Shorty Drag, came in saying they need to use the phone while I'm on the phone. So I act like I ain't hear the nigga, like I mean, the fuck you talking to? Whatever. So I guess he said something to Ill Will, because I mean, niggas, he knew Ill Will was supposed to be my man, whatever. So I don't remember if Ill Will said something to me about that shit before or not, but I mean, I don't remember, I don't think so, but lock-in time, I'm locked in my cell. This nigga Ill Will, no, I'm mixing the whole, I don't know how I forget this part. The nigga Bloody Moose pulled up. The nigga Papoose brother.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Bloody Moose pulls up. I think he on a violation or some shit like that. Moose pulls up. Now, while I'm there, me and the nigga Moose got cool. Me and Moose used to chop it up. Mind you, this is when Reasonable Doubt just dropped and all that. Well, Reasonable Doubt has been out. I came through around the same time Reasonable Doubt dropped. So now we in the 9/7 March, because I got out the thing I got out in February. I got out the Bing February 24th. I got out the Bing 3 days after my birthday. Got out the Bing February 24th. Went to 2-Upper. Now, I'm going to tell you, this is March 8th, 97. Right? It's got to be March 8th, 97. So, these niggas come to me. Like I said, I used to chop it up with the nigga. I used to chop it up with Moose all the time. Me and Moose used to kick it, whatever. And when Moose pulled up, them niggas was treating Moose like Moose was the OG up in there when he came through, right? So what made me even remember this shit, nigga was trying to get me to nigga was trying to get me to hang up the phone. I think Shorty Dread already blew. Yeah, Shorty Dread already blew. He got a 10 to 20. So he said something to me like, yo, my bro need to use that phone. He was talking about Moose. Like, yo, my bro need to use that phone. So like I said, I ignored the nigga. Was locking time that night. I go to the cell. Will comes to the cell, right? Like, yo, I ain't gonna keep coming in between you and my bros. This and the third, you keep touching that jack. I'm like, yo, my nigga, you know it is what it is. I can handle myself, my nigga. As long as I don't see you jumping on my back like big one shot, you know what I mean? I can live with that. You know what I mean? He's like, nah, my bros. If it's whatever, how he said it, like, basically what he was saying is like, he popping on me too. I'm like, what? I'm like, yo, well, you know how I give it up, my nigga. Something happened to me up here. None of y'all niggas can't stick your head out this 2 building, my nigga. Whatever. So he argued with me on the gate. Blah, blah, blah. That's when Moose pulled up to the gate. Moose, like I said, me and Moose been chopping it up. And I might have mixed this up with the story with Moose. Moose was the nigga that came to me and said to me, yo, homie, yo, I know a real nigga when I see a real nigga, but you outnumbered up here, kid. I'ma holler at San Diego and get you up out of here. Moose said that to me. When I see Moose, I get that nigga big respect. I seen that nigga when I came through in 08. When I blew on the hammer charge in 08, I seen him. We was in the 4 building together before I went up north. Him and Pat was on a VI, looking at my broad ass and all that, right? So yeah, Bloody Moose came. Bloody Moose, when he pulled up to the gate, he seen me and Ill Will beefing on the gate. I mean, because the first thing I asked Ill, I'm like, yo, my nigga, why you ain't say this to me before we locked in? That's what I said to him. Why you ain't say this to me before we locked in? I mean, you know. So me and Ill Will went back and forth on the gate, and this nigga Moose pulled up to the gate. Like, yo, my nigga, I know a real woman when I see one, but you outnumbered out here. There's too many of us up here. I don't want to see it happen to you. I'm going to holler at Miss San Diego, get you up out of here tomorrow morning. The reason why I remember that it was March 8th, because that very next morning, it was on the radio that Biggie got killed. That very next morning, that she was on Hot 97, that Biggie died. I left 2-Upper the day that Biggie died. So, but as soon as I leave there, they sent me to Mar 2. They sent me back to Mar 2. And remember I was telling you about Alley Cat that got ran off the south side and all that. They moved him to Mar 2. Remember I was telling you about that kid with the gyms and all that?
Yeah, I heard of some name before.
I get back to Mar 2. Why he got Mar 2? The house is his. He got the north side. And he got my son Zip with him. The kid Zip with the drip that's on that got the platform. His older brother was there with me. Both of them niggas named is Zip. They was co-defendants, but the Zip with the drip nigga was like in Sparkle. They was co-defendants on it. I think they came in for shooting Pepper Baby Father, Tata, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, but them two, but the older Zip was there with it. And I was like, you know, he was holding Alley Cat down. Now, the funny shit is this, right? So I go back to Mar 2. Now, like I said, Alley Cat is that nigga. This is like Alley Cat house now. However that happened, I don't know what he did. I mean, 4, 5, or however many months I've been gone, whatever. But you know, this was his house now. You know what I mean? A lot of niggas left shit, so I don't know. This was his house now, right?
That's how the island go, man. It be that niggas ran out of a house 1 minute. You go home for 2 months, come back, that nigga run the whole island.
I ain't nigga saying the nigga Alley Cat was.
Nigga went through what a whole bunch of niggas had to go through on the island. Niggas got jumped, ran out of houses, cut, robbed. You feel me? I told my story how I got robbed when I first came through the building, and I also told stories on how I robbed niggas. You feel me? That's how that shit go, bro. You end up robbing niggas cause niggas robbed you. You feel what I'm saying? You end up doing niggas filthy and cutting niggas cause niggas did that to you.
Right.
That's how that shit is a vicious cycle.
Yeah, it's a vicious cycle. I was just kind of lucky that I always landed with niggas just, I don't know what it was, but niggas just liked me. I ain't got jumped in no house. I mean, I guess niggas tried to jump me in mall for lower. My son Tank, I guess nigga, how I move, I always got niggas that's coming to my aid. I mean, so I never caught those bad ones. Even I'm in the worst house in the whole building, 2 upper. You know what I mean? I'm talking wild shit on my gate, like, niggas off that phone. Niggas could have did me, niggas probably would have did me if Bloody Moose wasn't there. Niggas probably would have did me dirty up there. Or if when he said, Joe, you a real nigga, I know real. Post, I would have been, man, fuck all that. Y'all niggas pop like on some pride ego shit. Now, I know I don't want to get beat up, scrub, brushed up, cut. So he threw the nigga the olive branch, I took it. You know what I mean? You understand what I'm saying? So, you know what I mean? I might have just got lucky. You know what I mean? I never got jumped. I never got ran out of nowhere. I got lucky, I guess. You know what I mean? So I get up out of, I'm back in Mall 2. Alley Cat got Mall 2. Like I said, Alley Cat my son. You know what I mean? Alley Cat my son. So he got Mall 2 now, right? Zip there. And like I said, them niggas is from Corona, Queens. So Jackson was holding them niggas. Jackson from Corona. So Jackson was holding them niggas down, letting them niggas do what they want to do, like type shit. I mean, I ain't gonna say letting them do what they want to do, because Jackson was the type of CO. Jackson was the type of CO like this, right? When the house, when like if Mall 2 had beef with, I think, 2 Main or some shit like that, right? And that nigga Jackson would tell nigga, we go in this mess hall, the shit pop off, whoever I see not shaking gonna get it when they get back. When we fight in another house, Jackson broke his whole hand dropping niggas in a riot in the mess hall one time. I know I had my koozie on. I know I had the koozie on when this shit popped up. Niggas had lasagna this day. I had the koozie on. When the shit popped up, the first thing I did was take my koozie off, roll that shit up, and I had some baggy ass, this is the baggy jeans. I had some baggy ass Parasuco jeans on this day. And first thing I did was snatch my motherfucking koozie off and tuck that shit in my pants. I never forget that same koozie. The nigga Man Beast used to come see me on the island. I remember I passed him that. He used to come put my shit in the cleaners for me and all that. I gave him that koozie. I never got that shit back neither. He gave me a koozie when I came home. I remember that shit was so mean. Like, yo, wow, let me get this. I got one for you when you come home. But
you said it popped in the mess hall though?
Yeah, it popped in the mess hall. Went up in the mess hall one time. And I remember when it went up, the first thing I thought about was my motherfucking koozie. Ain't nobody in the whole 4 building had a koozie at the time when I had one. I don't remember nobody having a koozie. Nobody having a coochie. I done seen niggas on the streets, niggas that was adult niggas. When I was in the 4 building, I done seen what's my nigga. This nigga named Darnell from a block, from around my way. He telling you WOP was the flyest nigga in the 4 building. I mean, it probably wasn't the flyest nigga in the 4 building, but I was fly. And I never, like I said, when I had my coochie, I ain't seen nobody with a coochie in the building. I ain't saying I'm the only nigga that had one, but I never seen a nigga with a coochie before I came in the 4 building with a koozie on. But when that shit went up, The first thing I thought about was lasagna day. I snatched my whole koozie off, rolled that shit up, and threw that shit in my pants before I started shaking.
I mean, I'm saying, I ain't losing a lot of fights. But every time I started a fight, it seemed like a nigga got the best of me every time I started a fight. Because when I came back to Mod 2, right, I told you what happened up in 2 Upper. When the homies was acting crazy over that phone, and I kind of got into it with my man Ill Will from behind the door. So when I got back to Mod 2, Alley Cat had the house. Alley Cat is crip. But it was Wild Bloods in the house. I mean, Wild Bloods in Mod 2 on the north side. And I remember...
Estimated time in traffic.
I remember my man Shorty Blood was in there. It was a Shorty Blood from Harlem that was there. That was my son.
You talking about my son, Mike?
Mike, that's a fact.
Yeah, that's my
that's a fact.
That's my son.
That's a fact. That's my man, Mike. I seen Mike like within a year ago or something like that. And I know I ain't seen Mike since like fucking 99 or something like that. But I seen Mike like over, I don't know, I might have seen him over the past 2 years. I bumped into him.
Yeah, son got a story on the channel, man, but we ain't finished the shit up, man. The audio was bad. I want to finish that story up because it was crazy. So, Mike,
Mike on the channel?
Yeah, he got a joint on here, man. He was he was an early dude I had on the channel, know what I mean? But he gonna hear this shit. But, I mean, we gotta do that. We gonna do that whole story over, son. Know what I mean? But yeah, son, I ain't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead.
My son, Shorty Blood, Mike, he was there. I met him when I came back to Mod 2. I just met him. I met him when I came back to Mod 2 that time. He wasn't there before I left. Before I went to the Bing and went on my mission and all that. I told you I went from Mod 2 to 2 Main to Mod 4 Lower to the Bing, then to 2 Upper. Now I'm back. So I've been going from Mod 2 for like 4 months. Hell no, it wasn't that long. Yeah, like 3 months, because I told you I left Mod 2. Like 2 months. I left Mod 2, went to the Bing that January. Right after the New Year's, I went to the Bing. And I was back in Mod 2 in March, late March, because I told you, March 9th. I told you I left 2 Up on the day that Biggie died. March 9th, I came back to Mod 2. That's a fact. Came back to Mod 2 on March 9th. The day Biggie died, I came back to Mod 2. So, like I said, when I got there, Alley Cat got the house. Alley Cat got the house. So, and Alley Cat was my son when I left. Alley Cat became my nigga before I left. But like I said, I was still kind of surprised that Alley Cat kind of had the house like that, how he had it. But it was Wild, you know. He had his position in, but it was Wild Bloods in there, kind of like doing what they wanted to do. So me, like I said, kind of out of character in my feelings about how shit went up in 2 Upper. I get back to Mod 2, telling all the homies, I don't want none of y'all niggas on this phone after 7 o'clock. And who the fuck am I to tell a bunch of blood niggas they can't touch the phone after 7 o'clock? But that's how I tried it though, right? So some niggas was respecting it though. Some niggas was respecting it. Like, you know, there was niggas that was there that knew who I was, that respected me. I mean, Alley Cat, 2 other niggas. I mean, Zippers, but I ain't no Zip until I came back there too. But, you know, these was the niggas I was fucking with when I came back. Alley Cat, Zip, and I fucked with Mike on some Harlem shit, but, you know, Mike was blunt, I mean. But I fucked with Mike, you know what I mean? So, I told these niggas don't touch that jack after 7 o'clock. So it was this one nigga, Tank Top Tony Durango boot wearing ass nigga. Remember the Durango boots? You might have been locked up for the Durango boot run, right?
Yeah, I don't remember those.
It's just with some bullshit. The Durango boots was like some cowboy boots with the square toe type shits. Pretty boy, like fake pretty boy niggas used to wear these shits. Mostly a lot of Spanish niggas used to fuck with them shits. But other niggas, I mean, you know, brothers used to wear them shit like, not no nigga like us. We wouldn't have, I wasn't no Durango, but the Durango boots had his one. The Durango boots was like some
Niggas was wearing them shit. They was like some kind of like cowboy boots with fucking square toe joints. Niggas that know in the comments, niggas know what the Durango boots was around this time. And they know what type of niggas wore them Durango boots. So this nigga, like I said, was a tall nigga, like 6'3". You know, I'm 5'10". This nigga like 6'3", diesel nigga. Always got the tank top on with the baggy jeans with the Durango boots. He ain't even have no garments. Bum ass nigga. He ain't even had no garments. He wore the same shit every day. The Durango boots with the tank top on, run around because he had muscles. Blood nigga, he kept touching the jack. I ain't like this nigga just because of the Durango boots anyway. The Durango boots, yeah, I wish you could. I wish you knew that.
I kind of think I know what you're talking about, but I know that style of boot you talking about, man. I know it's
different. I know you're gonna Google it up and put a picture of them joints up. Anyway, yeah, I know you're gonna do that. The Durango boots. Nobody said the Durango boots. They had this crazy square. So this Durango boot, tank top, Tony wearing ass nigga kept touching the motherfucking jack. He the biggest nigga out of all them niggas. Like I said, I let niggas know don't touch that jack after 7. And he was like the only nigga that wasn't respecting it. So I caused a day room meeting. So I tell niggas like, yo, niggas keep touching that jack. Yada, yada, yada. So son started getting loud. I mean, and then son got said, he was like a high-pitched, girly voice type nigga. Son started getting loud. When he started getting loud, I just spent on the nigga. A number was a push broom right outside the day room. Right outside the day room was a push broom leaning right up against the glass. So when son started getting loud, I just spent on the nigga easy. And went outside the door and started unscrewing the stick off the push broom. So when I'm unscrewing the stick off the push broom, he come right behind me out the door. Like, yo, why you grabbing the broom? Blowing it up. And the police, and I think it's Hernandez, who's the Spanish nigga, used to work in Mar 2 on the late night. He used to come in on last shift overnight. He used to go to sleep. He's like a no-nonsense nigga, but whatever. I forget his name. Spanish nigga, military nigga. I forget this nigga name, B. I forget this name. I forget the funny shit he used to say every time he used to count. But like I said, homeboy came out. He was like, why you grabbing the broom? Blowing it up. And when he said it, I froze. I looked around to see what the police was at. I know he said it kind of loud. But he's like, yo, why you grabbing the broom? I froze. Looking around, and the nigga stole me. Boom! Oh, shit. We get to shaking. So, the crazy shit is, the police nigga ended up letting me and this nigga get 5 minutes. So, we in the day room shaking. You ever fought a nigga that didn't know how to fight, like a doofy nigga? You ever fought a big nigga that didn't know how to fight and how awkward it is to fight a nigga like that? First of all, the nigga wild bigger than me, taller than me, bigger than me. Like I said, I had a little size. I worked out. I'm kind of athletic. But this nigga, I couldn't do nothing with this big nigga. I couldn't land a punch. I couldn't do nothing. This nigga swinging all wild, stupid. Making all types of fucking noise and all that. I got so frustrated, I just grabbed, the big plastic garbage pail, the big garbage joints. I got so hot. That shit was right there in the day room. I just grabbed that shit and just threw the shit on the nigga. Police came and broke it up. Like, yo, Brown, you a dirty fighter. Broke the shit up. Boom. My son Fat Cat had more for upper. Bless my nigga Fat Cat just passed away like a year ago.
Which Fat Cat? Fat Cat passed away? Dark-skinned Fat Cat?
Yeah. Fat Cat from Harlem, from the east side, from Johnson. Back then, Harlem niggas used to take allegiance with each other. And my nigga was blood. Fat Cat was blood, and Fat Cat was like a big homie up in there at the time on the island. So, when that shit happened with me and son, that shit got back to Fat Cat. Fat Cat came from Mall for Upper, came down to Mall 2, barked on this nigga, barked on all the homies. Yo, my man told you don't touch the fucking phone. He barked on his own homies, yo. And my man told you don't touch that jack, don't touch that fucking jack. Sun was hot. Sun was hot. And it was just like, my son Fat Cat, like, he barked on his own homies from me, like, yeah, don't touch that jack, nigga.
What you said happened with the nigga Mike though? In the crib.
Nothing happened with Mike. Nothing happened with Mike. I was just saying Mike was there. Mike was fucking with that nigga though. Mike was fucking with homies.
The Durango boot nigga?
Know what I mean? Mike, you know, that was the homies. I mean, you know, back then, you know, the homies was, that shit was fairly new. You know, that was before they had a whole bunch of sets. Homies ain't really beef with each other. You really heard about homies beefing with each other, any of that shit back then. I mean, like all the shit that we hear about going on right now, they got 100 different sets and all some crazy shit. I mean, but all them niggas was rocking with each other like as the homies. I mean, but yeah, none of that. I was fucking with Mike though. I was fucking with Mike. I came home off that building. I was fucking with Mike. Now me and Mike had a relationship. I wasn't nothing personal to Mike, and me even telling the homies don't touch the phones wasn't even had nothing to do with Mike for real. At that same time, that's when Mike Ease got locked up. Mike Ease got locked up. Them niggas robbed the sneaker store, robbed Mr. G's on the east side for mad leather coats and boots and all types of shit, and went and jumped on the motherfucking 6 train and got caught because they ain't tied the niggas up. They ain't tied the niggas up good enough. And the nigga, whoever got loose, saw them niggas go to the train station with bags full of boots and Averex levers and all that type of shit. And the police caught them niggas right on the platform waiting for the train. And I know E so well, mind you, by March, what's that? I've been locked up like 8-9 months or some shit like that. I ain't heard from that nigga not one time in the 8-9 months I was locked up. And like I told you, me and this nigga's like family since we grew up since like 5-6 years old, bro. I'm a year older than he is. I mean, I know that nigga so well, I knew exactly what he was gonna say to me when I saw that nigga, right? So I turned 19, I never forget. They sent me out the building March 25th. March 25th, I went to the Beacon. They sent me straight to the Beacon. I got sentenced in May. You know, they bring you right back to the 4 building. When you get sentenced, they bring the adults back to the 4 building and they get sentenced. And I come back to the building. He's in 2 Upper. He's in 2 Upper. He's Fat Cat. All them niggas in 2 Upper together. I seen that nigga Ease on a visit. He like, yo, I had some chicks for you in there. I swear I know that nigga so well. I knew he would say some shit like that to me. I knew he would say that to me. But I seen that because that shit was on the news and all that. That shit happened. I knew he would tell me some shit like that. I'm like, I bet you I bumped into him. When I was coming back to the building,
you said he told you what you said he told you when he saw you?
That nigga said, yo, I had some boots up in you. I had some boots. I had mad shit for you. I had some bread for you. All that if I would have came off with that shit. I knew him so well. I swore. I knew when I got sentenced, I knew I was coming back to the building. I heard Mike was in the building. I knew he was gonna say that to me when I saw him. And like I said, I've been locked up. Like I said, when I told you I got locked up June. This is March. By the time I seen that nigga, he got locked up, I think March 8th. I came back to the building like May 1st or some shit like that. And when I seen that nigga, I seen him on a visit or no, whatever. I used to always go up to 2 Top and check them niggas. Matter of fact, I remember when I came back, I got the job. I was SPA in the Bing when I came back. And my son Bloody Mega was down there when I came back. Mega was from East New York. But we was all there adolescents together. And yeah, I might have was in the building for like a week, 2 weeks, however long, before I went back up north, and shit from there, downstate and all that, and ended up in Wash. There was some funny shit I remember. I was fucking with my bro, right? This is like, so before I hit the alley, I remember one day, I'm smashing this broad. This was my girl. I'm smashing, but she had an ex-boyfriend that was on the island. So I'll never forget one day I'm smashing. I'm smashing her right on her mom's dinner table. And the phone, remember they used to have a phone on the wall. The house phone was on the wall. The rotary shit was on the wall. The nigga kept calling from jail. The nigga kept calling. So she answered the phone. And she's like, call me back. I'm in the middle of smashing. She's like, yo, call me back. The nigga calls again. And he kept talking. She's like, yo, call me. I told you to call me back. Whatever. I snatched the phone. I'm like, yo, my nigga, why don't you call your mom, tell her bail you out? Banging on the nigga. She's like, yo, why didn't you say that? His mama just died. Whatever, his mama passed away. So, when I ended up in the full building, right? See, that we passed that because this shit happened like when I first got there. This when I first got to the full building. When I end up in the full building, I'm like, this like one of my first week or some shit like that. I'm in the Manhattan Pens. It's just me and one other nigga in the Manhattan Pens, right? It's just me and one other nigga in the Manhattan Pens. So it was one nigga, this nigga named Dave Hudabar is in fucking the PC Pens right across. And then the Dono PC Pens, right? Like the YB Pens. You know what I mean? So he called, I don't even know the nigga, but he called me like, yo, your name W.O.P, right? Your name W.O.P, right? I'm like, yeah, what up? He's like, yeah, you used to come to my piece, fuck with my man KK, and yeah, you was fly, nigga, you had the green legs, boom, shout me out from across, from the PC pen. So I'm like, all right, cool, boom. So now, like I said, I'm sitting in the Manhattan Pens with one nigga, just me and one other nigga going to court this day. So after I'm talking to son, matter of fact, I'm talking to son on the gate for a while, cause he shouting me out, telling me about Ron from his project that was on me. All this shit, you know, boom. So after I finished talking to this nigga 5-10 minutes, I don't know, whatever, the police told me to be quiet, whatever, I don't know. I sits down, and the one nigga that's in the Manhattan Pens with me, like, yo, you what? I'm like, yeah, what up? He's like, yo, I'm G.I. I look like, nah, you a funny nigga though. He like, nah, you a funny nigga though. I would've did the same thing. He the nigga that I banged on, tell you, why don't you call your mom, tell her bail you out. That's how much of a small world it was, bro. How I got the name W.O.P, you know, how I got the name W.O.P, it's a breakdown. It's like a breakdown for my, you know, for the handle that was given to me. W.O.P. You know, a lot of these niggas out here, you know, they making up their own handles, but you know, most of them niggas handles is given to them, right? So when I was like, I say I was 11 years old. This was like the summer between 5th. No, I was 12. This is the summer between 6th and 7th grade. Nah, the summer between 5th and 6th grade, right? I got a big homie from my block named Jerry Wu. I mean, if you check J Wu out, J Wu went down. J Wu been down like 27 years, went down with preaching them niggas, right? So this is, J Wu was like a big brother to me. This is my best friend, older brother. I sent you a picture with Little Wu, his younger brother. I mean, but J Wu was like a big brother to me. One day he came to my block, one day he came through, he from my block, but one day I'm on the block, little nigga. Like, yo, he said, yo, you got some family, some live niggas. I know your family. I mean, he was telling me about y'all, me and my pops, me and my little brothers and them. I mean, my pop's been dead since I was like 8. I mean, my pop's been dead since I was 8 exactly. I mean, my pop was a boxing nigga, popular dude named Ron Brown. Yeah, I'm a junior. I mean, the only nigga in the world I ever wanted to be like. Well, when J. Wu came to the block this day, he was like, yo, you got some family, you know, nigga W.O.P. Now, I ain't recognizing that, you know, this around the time, you know all the live niggas' names, you know all the live niggas' names, you know, that was getting money in Harlem back then. I never knew this name right here, because this, you know, this wasn't the type of name that niggas just gonna just kick around too easily like that. And I mean, for, you know, out of respect. But when he said the name W.O.P, my man, you know, all my niggas was older. I'm like 10, 11. My niggas is like 15, 16, whatever. They know, like, oh, you talking about the kid with the white Porsche. Oh, son is a gangster. So I had to, you know, I had to go home and ask my grandmother who this was. You know, this is my cousin Dwayne. I never knew the name. I never knew the name. Knew him by the name Do-Wop. I never even knew these niggas was, you know what I'm saying? Like niggas that was out there like that. But as I mean, once my mans and them heard the name, when I was a little nigga, I used to have like the corniest tag name. We used to tag up. My net tag name used to be super corny. Like, I used to like the wrestler nigga Ravishing Rick Rude. I used to like the wrestler nigga Ravishing. I had some silly nigga like Ravishing Ron or some silly shit. My niggas used to say I had the super corny tag ups. So once my nigga Wu came through, telling me about the nigga Do-Wop, my niggas like, yo, that's what we gonna call you. We gonna call you Do-Wop. And they all said I had the little bop when I walked, like, you know what I mean? You all said I had the little bop when I walked that just came out of my whole walk and all that came out of me always wanting to hang with the older niggas. And niggas barking on me, telling me, yo, my nigga, hurry up. I used to walk, man, you know, niggas walk. I used to walk too slow, they said. I'm talking about I used to drag my feet to where the back of my heels on all my shoes used to be straight down when I was a little kid. And my nigga Bone, you saw me see, yo, hurry up, my god brother Lonnie. Like, yo, hurry up, man. Yo, catch up, man, hurry up. So I had to put like a little bop on my step just to keep up with niggas. And it just, somehow that shit just became like my natural walk. But I got the name Do-Wop just like that. By the time I got to junior high school, you know, I was Do-Wop officially. I mean, you know, it became a point in time where, you know, I got like 15, 16 really coming into my own. Just, you know, just out of pride, I started to feel a way about running around with another nigga handle with my older cousin T-Man. She's like, man, all these niggas is taking niggas' names, putting Poe on their name, Sims on their name, all this Porter on their name. He said, my nigga, that's your family, nigga. That's your family, nigga. Hold that, nigga. I mean, wear that. You know, and you know, I wore it. That's a proud name to have. I mean, you know, check him out. I mean, he got the documentary out right now, the Do-Wop documentary. You know, he got the book, Scenes of the Game. Any niggas is coming out with movies and all that. I mean, so this is, you know, his story. You know, ain't gonna sound like nobody's story. Like none of these niggas you heard of. I mean, like none of them. I don't care. Hands down, no nigga from Brooklyn, Bronx, Queens, nowhere, out of town, ain't nobody name sound like it. This name gonna go in the books with the best of, like, the motherfucking Bumpy Johnson type shit. I mean, separate them from all the New Jack Hustle type niggas that came up in the 80s. So, yeah, like I said, you know, that's how I got the handle, you know. Like I said, by the time I got a little older, that everybody just started calling me WOP. Like, just took the do off, it was calling me WOP for short. Like, to this day, girls that knew me since we was kids still address me as Do-Wop. If they don't call me by my handle, Ronald, girls that I knew from junior high school and all that, they see me Do-Wop. I mean, I knew that was your walk from a block away, shit like that. Yeah.